All right, so now we are set to go. Jess Roux, you are on, my friend and great poet, a person of note and merit.
Thank you. My first poem this evening was written to our prompt about the 4th of July. It's very short, but it's called Fireworks in Our Eyes. Fireworks in Our Eyes. When people think of America, I want us to have fireworks in our eyes. When I hear the word government, I think of helicopters flying in after hurricanes. You believe in something to make it real. What's home if it doesn't make you feel? The next poem is Sulfurous Angels. When the scales flutter down, when the lights flutter down and the scales come up all feathers, breathe out hard-held worries for me. When the world spirals out unwound and prism hippies' trips are fractal bound, we dance between Pan's horns like sulfurous angels banishing cares, grooved into groves and green graves. We're lighting matches in thunderstorms while talking heads stutter on teeth's tips. Let them be caught in our twirl's twists. The mouth of mounds opens up and shinings sheen into show, star-blazed paths heading home. The next is What is a Moment Lost? The spirit seethes 1,000 things before the mouth opens and utters, and tongues stutter 1,000 sounds, singing voice to beautiful fragments. What is a moment lost? Something remembered, like a song sublime and forgotten, lingering, now only a sense of a memory of a feeling. Gasping at what is given and grasping at what is gone, stringing stranded strands to vibrate songs again. The next is In Your Hands I Become a Violin. Play me, please, if you please, again and again. Let me be strung out for you. Fiddle me around in your palms, vibrating vibratos to my bottom G. Caress your fingers around my neck. Keep close to your face supple curves, carried and held wherever we pick up. Incense airs in the friction of resonance, stain a score of white sheets in the dashing dark dots of our romancing. Stroke notes I sing the way you want, play with my pegs, pulling me all taut, till the tension makes us inseparable. Never leave me just standing around, cased and closed as a coffin forgotten. Let me be instrumental for your soul, a silver tongue to your golden touch. Together we are a Minoan electrum, in electric moans melting into tones. Dare I even utter truth, pure alchemy, as Midas and moon melding harmony. In your soft hands, I become a violin. The next is I'm living to leave beauty in my wake. I'm living to leave beauty in my wake, playing music for the sake of making bodies shake, writing aching words to take us home, help us start waking. My prayer is to never make the world an uglier place, never to take and break gold threads of fate, Here we reweave and mend the tethered ends of living. Come join me in shimmering grace. It's alluring, life as an unending work of art. Be wild with a sense of style. All of the world traces out our exhibition space. The next is The First and Last Faith, dedicated to the dedications of dear Greta Thunberg. It opens with a quote from the Federalist: "Climate worship is nothing more than rebranded paganism." Don't you know those pagans are coming? A bunch of tree huggers breathing it all in, exhaling out those cliche winds of change. Did you know a priest of Dionysus is buried on Vatican Hill with the God-chosen popes? Screeds of creeds mute black catgut needs. Or did you forget, as Christians, you came from clay, Adama, lording over your Lord's laws, ceased as stewards of creation? Eve, when we fermented fruit to knowledge, knew what flesh of life was in unsoiled soil, branching out from dormant roots, grafting buds of a new world, so happy without you. You're the poisoners of all our earth's wells. Doesn't your book have something on that? Thou shalt not suffer, and so on. We resist, and as you pile on us, we say, more weight. Perhaps now you'll listen to wise hags on our forgotten first and last religion, sweeping airs from blooming brooms, slipping through holes in your holiness, with white eyes watching the world and each twig the wind brings down. Scritch, scratch, and fallen thatch, what shows all your snaps and cracks. Rosin up my stick, it's time to start flying. And every witch needs sap and horsehair. How else do we get those breezy curls? Now please excuse me, I need to see a serpent about a tree. The next is a very long poem. It runs about 9 minutes, so thank you, Dan Brady, for letting me be here to read something this long. It's called Howl in a Wasteland. The guitarist was a primitive anarchist, the drummer a neoclassical Marxist. They split like a bunch of riled leftists. Now I'm playing here without any hit. Cobain sang Something in the Way when he survived on Seattle streets. Memories of that city linger on in me with my violin, feeling the same. Muscle memories from sleeping on concrete, under dumpster cardboard in the city's rain. Nights in parks woken up by early sprinklers. Never judge someone being used by heroin. They don't get it, dreaming through all of it. It's no cheap joke to be sleepless in Seattle. I lie down now for days and nights unending. Soft beds always feel so sweet to my body. And I wonder, should I go back to DC, at least in some part-time staffer fashion, split between there and home, Austin? If Texas ever elects Democrats again, I could see it happen. Give it a decade. Now I'm just trying to swim in blue puddles amidst the Red Sea of a Lone Star state that only shines for real Texan Republicans. I miss my friends I love during all this. It's why I choose to stay here in Texas. COVID will pass and give some a miss, but I didn't sign up for this loneliness. And I can't even play music for crowds, with no amplified life, the quiet so loud. And I wonder, should I just stream music without an audience into a nothingness? And Texas only has government once every 2 years, 5 months and done. They don't trust it, you see. It's suspect. Get over it like an uneasy doctor's visit. It's slim pickings in rough political desert. No one tolerates a bureaucrat making it, especially, God forbid, a sin-ridden leftist. Let's not mention being a trans woman. It's hard times to howl in a wasteland. Rent man's coming, how do I make it? I suppose I can fall back on my poetry. I'd rather be homeless again than pawn my violin. But it's hard times for the bureaucratically inclined. We're not so readily commiseratable, commissars of the miserable, so I'll drink my wine. Drunks have a long life in the political, unlike everywhere else, except music. I'm so doubly blessed. What a mitzvah. It's essential, the miracle of being livable. Although during these times it tastes like unbottled red wine left open for too long. There's no pouring back what's oxidized. Ugh, I need a smoke or some more lies. I always give a cigarette to those tempted. I love being a bad influence and seeing it spread, the plumes of sweet smoke, the disregard for ending up dead, the pleasure in each taboo puff of something forbidden. I know it's killing me too with my estrogen, risking a stroke or deep vein thrombosis. But life isn't to be lived around punishments. I've said I'd make a grand tobacco lobbyist. Their trade orgs don't share my sentiments. I've never tried selling myself to a record company, but I imagine it's much the same feeling and intent. It's hard to sell your soul when no one's buying. Yes, it's a harsh land. You can feel the heat pushing down on you, but you don't go to the desert for the oases. It's a strange deja vu, this new homelessness, carrying my violin, nowhere to play yet again. We're too consumed by a disease for singing, even less enthused by door-to-door politicking, condemning ourselves in callous carelessness, living our lives in lifelessness. Collectively, we're smothered at home by the space and distance, sinking deeper into the strange homesickness. Still, my hair grows longer, and subtly, I look more like a woman. Isolation is a gift for transformation. Cocooning in carry-out containers and beer bottles, we're all either metastasizing or metamorphosing. Who are we hiding underneath our layers of mask? What will we think, seeing each other's faces again? What will we learn, asking who's beneath the cracks? Inevitably, the worst part of a plague is the aftermath. We all need a celebration. That much is certainly true. I worry if we're finding out too much about ourselves, what, when it comes down to it, we will or won't do, that what will be left will be a toxic waste of fission, nuclear families pulled apart on seeing each other, collectively heaving in disgust and dividing in two. When the masks can come off, so will the gloves. Loath to admit that too few of us ever did enough. But we'll all need a celebration, those that survive. What of those that we hold are to blame for deaths? Will we look away from them like they're homeless? What will the mood be when we're all together again? I suspect we'll be playing different musics, some of us wanting revenge. There'll be no coming together when we can come together. We've grown to resent each other too much from the prolonging absences. Still, we all need a celebration, even if we're not all invited. And I need crowds to play music for again. I need to hear the cheers and feel all the vibrations. The legislation will be fierce. Hopefully, I'll be in the fight. Something tells me certain elements would rather erect a monument to the fallen than assist the living. Better stretch the legs for grandstanding after all this sitting on the sidelines, biding our time. Pay homage to the dead and treat the rest as deadbeats. Nation on the edge of homelessness, no liquidity to drink. Strange to think middle America is facing what I've lived. From my experience, poverty is solved by getting money. A hard lesson to learn for those that already have all of it. Deadbeat poets wail musics in a suburbia shaken down, while vagrant politicians roam through vague promises, checked out from stimuli, alone, unable to uninstall Zoom. Forgive me a moment of lurid poetry during these times. It's unbecoming to fall into deadbeat rhymes, so instead, let's focus on this moment where we're together, with me writing for you, our flitting chance at some connection. I miss you, all of you, even when the world didn't miss me. I want to play music for you and see you dance and sing. I would deeply hug each of you, being warmed in embrace. But now is a time of loneliness and dying, so I wear a mask. The next poem is actually a song, but my voice is a little rough right now, so I'll just say it rather than sing it. From Samara to Arcadia. Death, don't take me yet. I'm too old to die young. Wait at least just a little bit for me to become a kid, like wise whirling fools dancing back to begin. Shush and shut, crack knick-knock kink knots on a dark rot knacker box. Wait a while, wandering death, and share a cigarette with me, along from Samara to Arcadia. I've got black cloves and a fiddle, and we know the cool, dark oases where we both relax and belong. So ease on work. We'll sing songs. And for the last poem of the evening, I thought I'd leave you with something a little lighthearted to wash the taste out of our mouth. It's called Wet and Dirty. I love taking it wet and dirty. There's no better way for a martini. Manhattans may get a sweet cherry, but there's no substitute for the memory of eating olives out of my dad's high-stem crystal glasses. The finest French vermouth, lapping around with chilled gin, botanicals hinting of secret gardens, brine, salty like an ocean of memories, adds the perfect kick, hitting smoother than quaffs of water. Shake me all up till your fingers freeze onto me, chrome and Art Deco delight shining silky bright. Pour out shimmering shards of ice like diamonds. We're engaged for the evening, full of spirit, pining. Thank you all very, very, very much.
Let me unmute there. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you have a chance to look at those comments. It's just like people are going, love your writing and your delivery. You don't go into Desert for the Oasis. Fabulous reading. A series of pluses like that. Sardonic response to the climate change deniers. Like, well done. Very well done.
Thank you.
Really grand stuff. Thank you so much.
I see that several of my friends were able to make it, and family members, and I just want to thank all of you that showed up so much. It meant a lot to me.